Dear friends, the foundation of the Melvin J. Bergman Hebrew Academy does not rest on bricks and mortar, but rather on individuals who have devoted their lives to teaching Jewish children. Debbie Kipperman, Dvorah Bat Harav Dov Yitzchak, was one such individual, a unique individual, who spent over 30 years teaching beautiful Jewish children, your children and my children, our language and traditions. And for that, we say thank you, Debbie, for making our children your children and devoting your life to them. I had the privilege of working with Debbie Kipperman during the 1980s and for a brief while before she retired in 2002. I considered both her and Zev Yibadeh L'chaim Tovim V'Arukim as dear friends. She was a gifted teacher who combined her excellent education and training with years of experience and made a magnificent career as the teacher of Kita Aleph at the Hebrew Academy. She loved the Hebrew language and she was extremely proficient in all of its aspects. She loved the Siddur and the Chagim, and she conveyed that love to her young charges. She taught them the skills and the knowledge that would serve as a firm base for their further education. The story is told of the Gaon of Vilna, who, walking down the street one day, surprised all of his students and suddenly embraced an old man who they didn't recognize. After this incident, they asked their teacher, who was this old man? He told them that that was his Aleph Bet teacher, who taught him the Aleph Bet. The Gaon of Vilna only went to Cheder till he was 6 years old. After that, he could study the rest on his own. The Aleph Bet teacher gave him the basis that he needed. Debbie was that Aleph Bet teacher who gave all of her students the firm base from which they could carry on. Above all, she loved her children, for they were her children, and they loved her. She generated warmth and confidence and support, and took pride in their accomplishments long after they left her classroom. Outside of the classroom, she was a dear friend and a trusted colleague. Her mind was first-rate. She was well-read and she could talk about almost any subject intelligently. And she had a sharp, unique sense of humor that often left us in stitches. You didn't always know what was going to come out of her mouth. She was an Isha Chachama and a Morah B'Chesed Elyon, and a link in our chain of tradition, which she passed on to hundreds, if not thousands, of students. The zechut of all her years of devoted service to Torah and Chinuch Yaldei Yisrael is her eternal reward, and may her memory inspire us all to carry the legacy of Torah and Chinuch that she so ably represented. Tehei nishmatat tzrura b'tzror hachayim.